The model maker is the LabTec system laboratory appliance which allows neat and precise fabrication of study models in 8 minutes. Chapter 1. Model Maker Parts. Single workstation base, universal for all LabTec appliances. Distance tube and model base height adjusting screw. Tray for silicon molds, perfectly adjusting to the system base with the help of 3 holes in it. Model maker positioning plate with 2 sides, one used for the upper model fixing and the other for study model, and upper and lower molds in 3 sizes. Chapter 2. Pouring the impressions. The impressions will be poured using white stone plaster for orthodontic study models. Only dental and alveolar zones are poured. Before the plaster is completely hardened, the stainless steel rings should be positioned in order to make the removal of the model easier. As only dental alveolar zone is poured, grinding is not necessary to start the study model's procedure. Chapter 3. Upper model positioning. Using the measuring scheme on the system base, we can determine which silicon mold size should be used for upper model. In this case, medium-sized silicon molds should be used. We check the size of the lower mold. In this case, the medium size should be used too. The height adjusting screw is placed. The isolating material is added to facilitate the plaster cleaning. Using the 3 guides at the bottom of the tray for silicon molds, the tray is positioned into the system base. The midline is traced on the model. The model is fixed to the positioning plate with the Easy Ever stick. Model midline must match with the reference midline of the system base in the anterior and posterior part. The positioning plate is placed on the guiding axis and the height is adjusted using the height adjusting screw according to the indications of an orthodontist. Then the plaster is poured in 4/5 of the silicon mold and the upper model is positioned. In this way, practically there will be no plaster excess. When the plaster is hardened completely, the positioning plate is removed. The tray with the mold is removed. Using the compressed air, the silicon mold together with the upper model is separated from the tray. The result is a perfectly finished study model. Chapter 4. Lower study model. Using the wax or silicon bite register, the lower model is positioned in respect to the upper model. Then the upper and lower models are fixed to each other using the wax or other similar material. With the models in occlusion, the B side of the positioning plate is used to fix the upper model with a screw. It is placed on the system base. Using the distance tube to establish the lower model height, it is fixed with a screw. The plaster is poured into 4/5 of the lower model and the model is positioned until it hardens. In continuation, the positioning plate is removed together with the upper model and the white register. The lower model is removed from the mold. You just need to polish the edges of the union between the plaster base and the model, which is done in a very quick and clean way. In this way, we carry out the study models with the adjusted occlusion when they are positioned on the posterior part as well on the lateral parts of the base. The triple workstation for clinics and laboratories with the work on a larger scale allows carrying out 3 processes at a time, in which the molds of different sizes can be used depending on the case. The triple workstation can be used both for model maker and for setup model maker, and setup models or the study models can be carried out simultaneously.